Greetings, seekers of truth and transformation. Today we explore a profound journey that many of you may be experiencing right now, the stages of awakening. This process is not just a personal evolution, it's a fundamental shift in how you perceive and interact with reality itself. As we navigate these stages together, you'll recognize signs that indicate you're on the brink of a major life change. Awakening is not a destination but a continuous unfolding. It's a series of realizations, each building upon the last, that gradually reshape your understanding of yourself and the world around you. This journey is unique for each individual, yet there are common threads that weave through all awakening experiences. In the first stage of awakening, you begin to question. This questioning goes beyond mere curiosity about the world around you. It's a deep, often unsettling examination of everything you've been taught to believe. You start to see cracks in the narratives you've accepted as truth your whole life. This questioning can be uncomfortable, even frightening at times. You might find yourself doubting long-held beliefs about religion, society, or your own identity. During this stage, you may experience a sense of restlessness or dissatisfaction with the status quo. Things that once brought you joy or comfort may suddenly feel hollow or meaningless. This isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. On the contrary, it's an indication that you're outgrowing old patterns and perspectives. You might also notice an increased sensitivity to the world around you. Colors might seem more vivid, sounds more intense. You may find yourself deeply moved by things that previously wouldn't have affected you. This heightened sensitivity is your awareness expanding, allowing you to perceive layers of reality that were always there but previously invisible to you. Another key aspect of this stage is a growing sense of interconnectedness. You start to recognize the intricate web of relationships that connect all things. This realization can be both beautiful and overwhelming. You might feel a deep sense of responsibility for the world around you, coupled with a feeling of powerlessness in the face of global challenges. As you progress through this stage, you'll likely experience moments of profound insight alternating with periods of confusion and doubt. This is normal and even necessary. The questioning stage is about breaking down old structures to make room for new understanding. A crucial point to remember during this stage is to be gentle with yourself. The awakening process can be intense, and it's easy to become overwhelmed. Take time to ground yourself in nature, practice self-care, and seek out others who understand what you're going through. You might find yourself drawn to spiritual or philosophical teachings that you previously dismissed. Be open to exploring these, but also maintain a healthy skepticism. Not everything that presents itself as spiritual truth will resonate with your personal journey. As this stage progresses, you'll likely feel a growing urge to make changes in your life. You might feel compelled to leave a job that no longer aligns with your values, end relationships that no longer serve your growth, or radically change your lifestyle. While these impulses can be powerful, it's important to approach them with discernment. Not every change needs to happen immediately. The key question to ask yourself during this stage is, what beliefs or assumptions am I holding that no longer serve my highest good? This inquiry can guide you through the often turbulent waters of questioning and help you discern which aspects of your old life to release and which to carry forward. As we move into the next stage of awakening, remember that this process is not linear. You may find yourself cycling back through earlier stages as you encounter new layers of understanding. Trust in the process and know that each moment of questioning is bringing you closer to a more authentic, awakened state of being. As we venture deeper into the awakening process, we encounter a stage that can be both liberating and disorienting, the dissolution of the ego. This phase marks a pivotal shift in your journey, where the very foundation of your identity begins to crumble, making way for a more expansive understanding of who you truly are. In this stage, you start to recognize the constructed nature of your personality. The I that you've always identified with, your likes, dislikes, beliefs, and habits, begins to feel less solid, more like a collection of conditioned responses than an inherent, unchangeable self. This realization can be deeply unsettling at first. You might feel as if you're losing yourself, and in a sense you are. But what's being lost is not your true essence, but rather the limitations you've placed upon it. During this phase, you may experience periods of intense emotional turbulence. Old traumas and unresolved issues often surface, demanding to be acknowledged and healed. This isn't a sign that you're regressing. Rather, it's a necessary purging of old energies that no longer serve you. Embrace these moments as opportunities for deep healing and integration. You might also notice a shift in your relationships. As your perception of yourself changes, your interactions with others naturally transform. Some relationships may fall away, while others deepen in unexpected ways. You may find yourself drawn to new circles of people who resonate with your evolving consciousness. A key aspect of this stage is the recognition of your own projections. You begin to see how much of what you perceive in the world is colored by your own thoughts, beliefs, and past experiences. This understanding can be both humbling and empowering. It challenges you to take responsibility for your perceptions and reactions, rather than blaming external circumstances for your experiences. The ego dissolves. You may experience moments of profound peace and clarity, alternating with periods of confusion and fear. The ego, sensing its own demise, often fights back with increased intensity. You might find yourself grappling with deep-seated fears or engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors. Remember, these are normal parts of the process. The key is to observe these reactions without judgment, recognizing them as the last gasps of an outdated operating system. During this stage, practices like meditation and mindfulness become increasingly important. These tools help you cultivate the awareness needed to navigate the shifting landscape of your consciousness. They allow you to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them, creating space for new insights and perspectives to emerge. You may also find yourself drawn to practices that work directly with energy, such as yoga, qigong, or various forms of energy healing. These modalities can help you become more attuned to the subtle energies flowing through and around you, further dissolving the illusion of separation between self and other. As you move through this stage, a profound question emerges: if I am not my thoughts, emotions, or even my body, then who or what am I? This inquiry can lead you to direct experiences of your true nature, the boundless awareness that underlies all phenomena. It's important to approach this stage with patience and self-compassion. The dissolution of the ego is not about destroying your individuality, but rather about expanding your sense of self to include a more universal perspective. You're not losing yourself, you're discovering your true, unlimited nature. As we prepare to explore the next stage of awakening, consider this. How might your life change if you no longer identified solely with your limited personal self? How would you interact with the world if you recognized the same consciousness within all beings that you find within yourself? As we progress further along the path of awakening, we enter a phase that can only be described as alchemical, a profound transformation where the boundaries between self and other, inner and outer, begin to dissolve. This stage is characterized by a growing sense of unity with all of existence, a direct experience of the interconnectedness that mystics and sages have spoken of for millennia. In this phase, you may find yourself having moments of spontaneous bliss or ecstasy, where you feel completely at one with everything around you. These experiences often come unexpectedly, perhaps while walking in nature, during meditation, or even in the midst of everyday activities. In these moments, the sense of being a separate self falls away, replaced by a profound feeling of unity with all of life. As this stage unfolds, you'll likely notice a shift in your perception of time. The rigid, linear concept of past, present, and future begins to loosen. You may find yourself experiencing moments of timelessness, where you're fully present in the eternal now. This shift can bring a deep sense of peace and freedom, as you realize that you're not bound by the constraints of linear time. Your relationship with the natural world may undergo a radical transformation during this stage. You might find yourself able to communicate with plants and animals on a subtle level, sensing their needs and energies. The boundaries between your consciousness and the consciousness of nature begin to blur, leading to a deep sense of kinship with all life forms. Synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences may become a regular part of your experience. You might notice patterns and connections that were previously invisible to you, as if the universe is constantly communicating through the language of symbols and meaningful events. These synchronicities often serve as guideposts, confirming that you're aligned with your path and purpose. During this stage, you may also experience a profound shift in your understanding of love. The conditional, need-based love that characterizes many human relationships gives way to a more expansive, unconditional love. You begin to recognize the divine essence in all beings, loving them not for what they can give you, but simply because they are expressions of the same consciousness that you are. As your sense of unity deepens, you may find yourself naturally drawn to service. This isn't born from a sense of obligation, but from a genuine recognition that helping others is helping yourself. You might discover new ways to contribute to the world that align perfectly with your unique gifts and passions. Your creative expression may also undergo a transformation during this stage. You might find yourself channeling ideas and inspirations that seem to come from a source beyond your individual mind. Art, music, writing, or other forms of creativity become portals through which universal wisdom can flow. It's important to note that even in this stage of profound unity, challenges and difficulties can still arise. The difference is in how you perceive and respond to these challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles or punishments, you recognize them as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. Every experience, pleasant or unpleasant, becomes a teacher. As you navigate this stage, you may find yourself grappling with a paradox. How do you maintain your individual human experience while also recognizing your unity with all that is? This is not a question to be answered intellectually, but a koan to be lived. The dance between individuality and unity becomes your path. A key insight of this stage is the recognition that awakening is not just for your personal benefit, but for the evolution of collective consciousness. As you embody higher frequencies of awareness, you naturally uplift those around you, contributing to the awakening of the entire planet. As we prepare to explore the final stage of our journey, consider this. How might your life change if you lived from a constant awareness of your unity with all of existence? What would it mean to be fully human while also recognizing your divine nature? In this final stage of our exploration, we arrive at what might be called the fullest expression of awakened consciousness. This is not an endpoint, but rather a state of continuous unfolding, where the insights and experiences of the previous stages are fully integrated into everyday life. In this phase, the distinction between spiritual and mundane dissolves entirely. Every moment, every interaction, every breath becomes an opportunity for deepening awareness and expressing love. You no longer seek transcendent experiences because you recognize the sacred in the ordinary. Washing dishes, having a conversation, or sitting in traffic all become portals to the divine. One of the hallmarks of this stage is a profound sense of equanimity. You're no longer pulled around by the ups and downs of life, not because you've become detached or indifferent, but because you've developed a deep trust in the unfolding of existence. You understand that everything, joy and sorrow, success and failure, is part of the cosmic dance, and you're able to meet each moment with openness and acceptance. Your perception of reality becomes fluid and multidimensional. You're able to shift your awareness between different levels of consciousness at will, seeing the world through various lenses from the perspective of your individual self, from the viewpoint of unity consciousness, and from many gradations in between. This flexibility allows you to navigate complex situations with wisdom and grace. In this stage, you become a true alchemist of consciousness, able to transmute lower vibrations into higher ones. When you encounter negativity or conflict, you naturally respond with love and understanding, not as a forced practice, but as a spontaneous expression of your true nature. Your mere presence becomes a catalyst for transformation in others. Your actions in the world arise from a place of deep alignment with the flow of life. You no longer struggle against what is, but instead dance with the ever-changing currents of existence. This doesn't mean you become passive. On the contrary, you may find yourself engaged in powerful, transformative action. The difference is that this action comes from a place of harmony with the whole, rather than from ego-driven desires. As you embody this awakened state, you become a living bridge between dimensions. You're able to translate higher truths into forms that can be understood and integrated by those at different stages of awakening. Your life becomes a teaching, not through preaching or proselytizing, but through the simple radiance of your being. I end this stage. The concepts of personal growth or spiritual evolution fall away. You recognize that you are already complete, already perfect in your essence. Instead of striving to become something, your focus shifts to allowing more and more of your true nature to shine through the vehicle of your human form. One of the most beautiful aspects of this stage is the deep sense of love and compassion that permeates every aspect of your being. This isn't a sentimental or emotional love, but a vast, unconditional love that embraces all of existence. You see the divine in everyone and everything, even in those who seem most lost or destructive. As you live from this awakened state, you become a nexus point for higher consciousness to enter the world. Your thoughts, words, and actions carry a transformative power, not because you're special or chosen, but because you've aligned yourself with the creative force of the universe. Yet even in this exalted state, you maintain a profound humility. You understand that your awakening is not a personal achievement, but a gift of grace. You're constantly in awe of the mystery of existence, always open to deeper levels of truth and understanding. As we conclude our journey through the stages of awakening, remember that these stages are not rigid or linear. They often overlap and interweave in complex ways. The key is not to strive for a particular stage, but to remain open and present to whatever is arising in your experience. So, dear seekers, as you continue on your path of awakening, I invite you to consider, how can you bring more presence, more love, more awareness into each moment of your life? How can you allow your true nature to shine more fully through your human form? For in the end, awakening is not about reaching a final destination, but about fully embracing the eternal dance of consciousness that you already are.